After a long-anticipated ceasefire between Israel and the terrorist organization Hamas, the fragile truce is now on the verge of collapse because of Hamas's reckless decision to abandon the agreement. This latest betrayal by Hamas proves beyond doubt that it was never truly invested in securing peace for Palestinians, only in perpetuating conflict. The ceasefire's future, along with Gaza's stability, now hangs in the balance. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a stern warning stating that if Hamas failed to release hostages as agreed upon, Israeli forces would resume intense fighting. His warning came after Hamas announced on Monday that it would indefinitely postpone the next round of hostage releases, an outright violation of the agreement. Hamas, in its usual deceptive manner, accused Israel of breaching the truce. However, there has been no credible report from any media outlet confirming Israel's alleged violation, exposing Hamas's claims as blatant lies. Netanyahu's statement echoed the demand made earlier by US President Donald Trump, who issued a clear ultimatum: if the remaining hostages were not freed by Saturday at noon, there would be severe consequences. Trump's strong stance only reinforced the gravity of Hamas' betrayal. However, Netanyahu clarified that only 3 hostages were due for release on Saturday under the ceasefire terms, not all captives still held by Hamas. Meanwhile, Netanyahu has reinforced Israeli troops in and around Gaza, making it clear that any further aggression from Hamas will not go unanswered. Trump, while meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah II at the White House, repeated his warning that if Hamas did not comply, all bets are off. His remarks, along with his assertion that the US would not allow Hamas to dictate the future of Gaza, have enraged the terrorist group while leaving world leaders frustrated by its continued defiance. The breakdown of this ceasefire is not just an Israeli concern. It is a global disappointment. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United States worked tirelessly to mediate the truce, investing significant diplomatic efforts to halt the violence. Yet Hamas has once again proven that it has no real interest in peace, instead choosing to drag Palestinians back into bloodshed for its own agenda. To make matters worse, Hamas, despite claiming to be a victim, has inflicted unspeakable cruelty on Israeli hostages. As part of the 5th exchange of hostages and prisoners on Saturday, Hamas released 3 Israeli civilians, while Israel freed 183 Palestinian prisoners. But the freed Israeli hostages have spoken out about the horrific conditions they endured. Male captives were held for nearly 500 days under inhuman conditions that left many unable to walk upon their release. Survivors recounted brutal treatment, starvation, torture, and confinement in spaces too small to stand in. One former hostage revealed, "They treated us like animals." According to reports, prisoners were hung upside down, gagged, burned, and given nothing but rotten scraps of pita bread after long periods of starvation. Hamas's action in recent days leave no doubt it was never interested in protecting Palestinians or securing a lasting peace. Instead, it continues to use civilians as pawns in its relentless pursuit of conflict. By deliberately violating the ceasefire and pushing Gaza back into chaos, Hamas has once again demonstrated that it is the only true enemy of the Palestinian people.